truly enjoyed just getting to take part in what I've felt and what I've heard already.
Amen.
Yeah, buddy.
But while we're here, just for a minute at a time, I hope yous will pray that the Lord will continue to bless us.
Yes.
I need your prayers. I feel very weak. Clyde, I feel the weakest among all of us.
It's a good way to feel.
I was dreading having to come up here for a dread.
But you trust in the Lord, brother. He'll lead you.
Because the last thing that I would want to do is to take away from what we've already felt.
Yeah.
And you know,
That's for sure.
I hope that yuns are looking to the Lord and not looking to me or any of these other brothers to give you a blessing. That don't come from us. I'll speak just a few words and get out of the way. I won't take much time.
Take your time.
Man the Lord, brother. Man the good spirit.
But you know, if you're looking for instruction, then you need to open this book here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's right. And I don't know why this is on my mind, Brother Daryl. Let's pray for a minute.
What way?
You can open these pages here and you can find where Jesus was trying to instruct His people and His disciples. And He was trying to prepare them for what was coming.
I didn't understand.
He was.
And you know, I love to read about Peter.
Yeah.
Because I was telling Dad, I see the human element all over Peter.
Yeah, buddy.
Because Peter was a man,
Yeah, buddy.
just like you were me.
Yeah, right, brother.
Lord God, do
To me, Paul was kind of up here on a pedestal. Paul was on a different level. But you know, with Peter, I see a lot of myself all over him. Not in the fact that he had the zeal that he did, but in the mistakes that he made.
Yeah.
Brother Daryl.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. And you know, when Peter, the first time he ever saw the Lord, he was fishing on a little boat.
That's right, brother.
And Peter, socially, was probably the lowest status a person could be.
Yes, sir.
Just a lowly fisherman. And you know, when Jesus saw him and he went on to Peter's ship there with him, and Jesus looked at Peter and he said, "Cast out offshore."
Yeah.
And Peter had already fished all night long and toiled and hadn't caught a single thing. But there was something about this man that compelled Peter to act.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
And Peter did as Jesus asked him, and he cast off the shore there into the water.
We've told all night.
And when they were out there, Jesus looked at him and said, "You cast your nets deep,
Yeah.
just for a draught." And Peter said, "Master, we've toiled all night.
Caught nothing.
But if you'll ask me this thing, then I'll do it, Brother Fred."
Right, brother.
Because there was something that was compelling Peter.
Amen.
And you know what? He looked at him. He didn't know who Jesus was. But he still called him Master. You think about that. There was something
Yes,
deep
sir.
inside of Peter that
Yes,
was
he-
burning.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
This man, when he spoke of people, and you know what? Listen, when Peter cast his nets down in the water there. It says that he couldn't even bring them back up to the surface for the fishes that filled them there. So much so that the net broke. People, that's the way the Spirit of God.
Yes, it is.
This morning, you feel like doing a little fishing this morning. People,
yes, sir.
That's what we're doing.
Yes, sir.
With this association.
Amen, Brother Jeremy.
What we're trying to do is go fishing. People, how sweet my Lord is. Listen, we've got reason to shout. We've got reason to rejoice this morning. Listen, you know what? I've got 3 young children in this world here. Listen, I've got 3 little daughters, ages 6, 5, and 3. People, I don't have the luxury of not fishing every chance I get. Oh, God, in heaven this morning, listen, you know what? We need to be about our Father's business. Listen, you know what? That instruction here is all over the place, but there's one underlying theme, Brother Jason, and that is to act with love and compassion.
By my love and kindness.
This world, mercy, that love of God is the good part. Oh, God in heaven, this morning, you know what? The last time that Jesus ever showed himself to Peter, guess what he was doing? He was fishing. Buddy. You think about that. You know what? Jesus came to them, and their eyes were hid to him. They didn't know it was my Lord. But oh, God in heaven, Jesus, their master, had been crucified and was gone. You talk about feeling lonely again. Listen, so Peter did just what had come naturally to him. He looked at him and said, oh, I go fishing. Listen, and James looked at him and said, I'm going with you. Oh, God, listen. You know what? When they were out there and they were fishing, they fished all night long.
Hold on,
hadn't caught a thing, but when the morning had come, listen, no doubt they were as low can be. Listen, they started heading in the shore, and Jesus was standing there on the shore. Oh, God, children, have you any meat? Do you have anything to eat?
Listen, the Lord.
He wasn't talking about food. He wasn't talking about natural sustenance. He was talking about the Spirit of God. Do you have any meat? Listen. And Peter looked at him and said, no, I don't have any. Listen. And Jesus said, you cast your net on the right side. Oh, God, you better believe that Peter remembered that he didn't know. Asked him to cast his net one more time. You better believe he remembered that, Brother Joel, because for some reason he was compelled to do it again. Listen to me, and he did it He cast that net down and couldn't bring it up for all the fish. But this time the net didn't break when he pulled it in and held on. But listen to me, and you know what? When they went on to the little beach there and they laid out some of them fish, listen, you know what? The last instruction that Jesus ever gave to Peter, listen, was, Peter, do you love me? Yeah. Lord. You know I love you. Feed my sheep. Peter, do you love me? Yeah, Lord. You know I do. Then feed my lamb. Oh, God. Peter, dost thou love me? Yeah, Lord. Listen, then you feed my sheep. He was telling him until the very end, with his last breath, to go fishing. Brother, listen to me.
What about that?
You know what? It's the same instruction today.
Yes, sir.
Fish.
Yeah.
There's an old saying, either fish or cut bait.
Yeah, buddy.
You know what? I'm telling you right now that there's nobody in here that's more unworthy than I am.
That's a good way
I promise you that.
I never saw it.
But you know what? When I get an opportunity to fish, I'm going to fish.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to try.
Nothing better.
And you know what? If I get up and embarrass myself,
That's all right. That's all right.
okay with that. Then maybe I'll just sit down and cut bait a little while.
Scotch for the next guy.
I heard that forever.
But you know, that instruction that he gave to Peter, to me, is the underlying theme of this entire book.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, buddy.
You got it.
Is to not be afraid to stand up and do what's right.
Amen.
To fish.
Amen.
To try to call lost men and
Pray
women
for
home.
them. Yeah. Pray
To
for them.
pray for one another.
Have food for them.
To love one
Isn't
another.
that the truth?
And to not pass up an opportunity when an opportunity is given.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
That's right, Brother
Preach
Jeremy.
that.
And you know, I work at a furniture manufacturing plant down in North Carolina. And you know, we've got about a 2 million square foot facility and we've got about 400 employees there. And I'm the plant superintendent for it. And you know, the other day, just pray for a minute. I'm going to try to tell this. And
You're
I'll quit.
okay. You're okay, Brother Jeremy.
A couple weeks back, I had a supervisor, one of my supervisors that reports to me, come and tell me that one of his operators was in trouble. And her name was Cassandra, and he came to him and he said, Jeremy, he said, I know you're a minister. And I'd never told anybody that, Brother Clyde.
Don't have to.
Brother Charlie came to him, he said, I know you're a preacher. He said, Cassandra, you know, she was about 3 months pregnant and she lost her little baby last night. She miscarried. Brother Jerry, he said, she's awful tore up. He said, would you go and talk to her?
Yeah.
And you know, I was scared, I'll be honest with you, because I've got a lot of responsibility and a lot of obligation, Brother Daryl.
Yeah.
But you know what? There was something that was telling me that I needed to go
Priorities.
and talk to this woman.
That's
And you know what? I want to tell you about this woman, Brother Fred. I think she's about 25 years old, and she looks like she's about 50. She's had a rough life. Brother Chad, she's got 4 different children from 4 different men, and she's from downtown Winston-Salem, which is in the best neighborhood in the world. But you know what? Society would tell you you, listen, would judge her and say, listen, why bother? She's just a statistic, brother Fred. But you know what? I thought about what would my Lord do? Listen, when that woman that was accused of having adultery was caught in the act of it, brother, did Jesus say, listen, well, I'm not going to waste my time with you, brother friend. Listen, but then he showed love and compassion and mercy. Listen, but you know what? When I went back to that, listen, her little area there on the floor, people, and I talked to her there, and I walked up, and I just put my hand on her shoulder, and she began to cry. Listen, and I didn't even know what to say to her there, but you know what? I've got
standing in the shadow.
My youngest daughter, Olivia. You know what happened with her? She had a stroke when she was born, and the doctors told me then I'd never get to take her home, brother friend. That she, listen, the best case scenario was that she was going to be a vegetable for the rest of her life. People, you know what? We just celebrated her third birthday the other day. Listen, and she runs around and plays and laughs, and you wouldn't know anything's wrong with her, friend. How good my Lord is. Listen, but you know what? When I went and told her, listen, that woman, I told her, I said, Cassandra, we don't know the works, the will of God sometimes. We don't understand all His ways. But you know what? The hardest thing I've ever had to do, Brother Chad, was to tell God, the Lord, if she's not gonna grow up and know you, pardon and remission of sin, you just take her home. You don't let her leave this place. But because I want to get to hold her one day, Brother Daryl, listen, and you know what? When I got done there with her, she looked at me and said, Jeremy, will you pray for me? And I said, I'll pray for you.
Yeah, buddy.
Listen, I said, I'm going to put your name on our prayer list there, people. And she looked at me and shook her head, and she said, no, will you pray for me right now? And right there, in front of everybody, on that production floor, we got down, and I just held prayer, people. And when we got done and turned around, thank you, woman, standing there, and she said, will you pray for me too? So we went right back. Yes, God. Thank you, Lord. This world is hungry. Yes, God. They may not know what they're hungry for. But they're hungry just to taste. They're hungry for that meat. Yes, they are. Eat my seed. Do you have any meat? Children have any meat. That's what this world is hungry for. That spirit. People. Why do you think Jesus looked at him and said, Peter, feed my sheep? My flock is hungry. Don't be afraid to stand out for the Lord. And you know what? The next day,
oh Lord,
the next day at work, I had one of my supervisors come to me and ask me, because this was right in front of the little break room there during lunch, and people were in and out. We've got about 400 employees there.
Bless him, Lord.
He came to me and he said, "Aren't you worried about getting in trouble?"
Oh, Lord.
Get in trouble with the Lord.
You would have gotten in trouble if you hadn't listened to him and got
I thought
down.
of
What about
was
that?
when Paul, listen, when he knew that he was going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they came to him and said, "Paul, they're going to bind you. If you go down the streets, they're going to bind
Don't
you.
go.
Don't do it. Listen, they're going to cause you harm." And Paul looked at him and shook his head and said,
Yeah, why you breaking
"Not
so hard?
only am I willing to be bound for my Lord,
Willing to die.
Brother Randy, but I'm willing to give my life.
Yeah,
Lord,
he did.
if that's what it would take." Listen, how serious is this thing to you?
Yes, sir.
People, we've got reason to shout this morning. Listen, we've got reason to rejoice. Why wouldn't we show love and compassion?
Yeah. That's right.
The Lord put a love in me that I want to share with this world.
Yeah, buddy.
Amen.
Brother Jason, I'm going to get out of the way.
Oh, you ain't been in the way.
I love each and every one of you. I'm so
Nobody.
thankful how good He is this morning.
Yes, sir. Yeah, buddy.
If the Lord can take someone like me, someone as undeserving and unworthy as me, and use me as a vessel, just think about what He could do with you.
Oh,
Think about the blessings that you could cause. You come on. I'll close it.